Good morning, everyone. My name is Fiona from Fiona Creations, and I'm going to do a fun fold card. Now, if you hop on, say hi so I know who's with me. Let me just make sure we're all good to go. I've got my comments on. Now, there's always a bit of a delay when I see your comments, so if I don't respond straight away, bear with me. So I did tell you I was going to show you, oops, let me just get this card, wedding card that I made, and then it pops up. So it's a mountain fold. Shrusti Patel is the original creator, but she didn't have these floating panels, so I added that little extra. Okay, so tell me what you think. Now, I made a little bit of a variation to the one I'm going to show you, and that's because, as you can see, there's a little bit of bulk in here, and it does put a lot of stress on this bit here. I'll show you the one that I made. This was the one I did all my boo-boos on. So you can see it starts to tear a little bit. So this one is going to be one that I'm just going to keep. No one's going to get it. I made it a lot simpler. I'm not going to put all these pieces. They're too small, too fiddly. So hopefully I'll give you some tips. And see that? See? It's very bulky and they don't sit properly there. And it starts to tear. Okay, so that's what I'm going to show you. Lovely, Sue. Thank you so much. So that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, what you need is definitely, oh, I should tell you, I'm using the Country Birdhouse, the bundle. I hope I have done this. Actually, it's quite easy if you just follow. So I hope you've got some cardstock that, some retired cardstock. So follow with me. And yeah, I think you should be all right. So where are we? Okay, so I'll just put that there. So on the screen is the product number. I haven't used this yet, so I've got my pieces already. You definitely need a trimmer, a cutting board, and a craft knife. All right, a cutting mat rather. All right, I'll leave this to the side. I'll bring it here. Now, for the pieces, we need a card base measuring 5.5 by 10 1/4. Okay, so that's 5.5 by 10 1/4. That's your card base. Then we need two pieces, 5.5 by 11 inches. I've already got one piece ready. Okay, so once again, we need two pieces. Okay, good. You're writing instructions. All right. 5.5 by 11. Now you also need two thin strips. That's 3/4. I just want to make sure. It's no, sorry, not 3/4. 3/8, sorry. So 3/8, that's wrong. 3/8 by 11. So basically it's an A4 piece of cardstock. Just cut it down. All right. So that's two pieces there. Then for the panels, the floating panels, we need the base layer, which is 4 by 3 1/8. So the base layer is 4 by 3 1/8, and the top layer is 3 7/8 by 3 inches. Okay. Now for the panels, now you can either choose cardstock, and you can emboss this, and I'll bring my sample out. So that's where I use the cardstock, and I use gold as a layer. Now it's up to you if you want to put another layer, but with this one I'm just keeping it simple. So or you can use DSP. All right, so I cut this, not sure if I'm going to use it, but I've got the DSP. So that's 4 pieces at 2 3/8 by 5 3/8. That's to decorate your layer. You also need 2 pieces. Again, this can be cardstock, it can be DSP. Now, I would recommend you use DSP because that's this bit here. Now, when it's DSP, it's a lot thinner and it slides in easily. So, I mean, if even then it sort of catches. All right, and that's because I'm not sure why, but yeah. So I would keep that as a DSP layer. So that one measures 4 3/8 by 3 inches. Right? Now for the front, that's this here, the front of your cover and the back. It's 5.5. I forgot to put my measurements. 5.5 by 5 inches. Let me just get my, I'm pretty sure. You want to cover that completely. Yeah, 5. Yeah, by 5.5. And the last 2 pieces is 3/4 by 3.5. This is for the, what you call it? It's for the hinge. I wouldn't say it's a piece to glue your panels on so it floats. Okay. So I don't know what you want to call it. The word escapes me. So you got that? So that's 3/4 by 3.5. All right. Okay, so let's put all this. Now we're going to start scoring. Oh, I need mine. So what we need here is, let me put that there. I'll put my notes here. You want to score this, putting the 11-inch to the top, the long side to the top. Score it at 2 3/4. Five and a half. Now I'm using basic, what's it called? Basic gray. Now this is going to be my monochromatic color for the Insta Hub. But I don't know if I can. It's not going to be monochromatic because I'm going to be adding color to it. So sorry, 2 3/4. The next score line is 5.5. We just need to open up this extension. The next score is at 8. And the last one is 10.5. Okay. So these are the 2 panels I was talking about here. So again, it's 2 3/4, 5.5, 8, and 10.5. Right? Flip this around. So the short side to the top, and with the first section where the first score line is, line it up to the 1/2 inch mark. Now you can either score and cut with a scissor, but I prefer doing it with a trimmer because it gives it a neater look. All right. So place your blade on the first score line and cut that. And then bring this bottom edge to the 1/2 inch mark, or you can flip it because you've got more to hold. Again, place that on the score line and cut that. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to cut this out. So place it on the 2 3/4 so we can cut this off. We don't need those pieces. Make sure you line it up. And you can use your scissors if you want to cut that off, if you're worried that you might, cut into it. So you should have something like this. Okay. Now what I would also do is, while you've got this in the track, see this score line here, this 1/2 inch score line, all you want to do is make a mark. And that's just to help you to make the slots that we need to slide in and out. So we make like a little, where are we? Yep, so just do that. So it gives you an idea from where to cut the little sliding, so the card can slide in and out. It's a slot that you need to cut, okay? Now, this I won't do on the trimmer. You do need a metal ruler, because otherwise you might cut into your, okay. Before the slit, just go as close to the line as possible. Oops, sorry. I'll come in a little bit, but I hate to do that because sometimes I forget to zoom out. I'm not sure if you can see this. Can you see this, Sue? My lighting's not the best either. Let's move that out. So leave, sorry, as not very close to the score line, just a little away. So now see, I can see that score line, the score marks over here. So that gives me an idea or indication of where to place my craft knife. Okay. So from the top score line, okay. And then this, you want it, so you want to come more into the card section, because what you want to do is you want to keep this strong. So I'd come a little bit in. So it's like a 1/16. That might be too much. About a 1/16. And then cut that. And then what we can do is remove that bit. I know, a slot or slit, I'm not sure what you want to call it. So you want to make that little gap there. All right. Now, you've got this piece. And this is where this all comes into play. So the card base will stick on here. And then we'll get the other one to be on this side. All right. Now, you want to go and fold these score lines. Just go back and forth because this is what gets the most working. Like it really, that will really go, like do it on both sides because this is the one that gets a bit of a workout. Okay. Now, when I did this card, I did all of this and then I stuck my DSP. It was the hardest thing to do. So before you put it together, you want to get your piece that's 4 3/8 by 3 inches, and you want to stick that down. Now don't worry about folding this score line. It doesn't need to be, okay? Now the reason I made this bigger is if I did this as a layer, then it would keep catching onto this edge here. But if you make it bigger, see, you've got that extra in there and no one's going to see that. So it doesn't catch on this edge here. All right. So that's the reason for why I made that big. And that was a tip that Barry gave. So these are Barry's measurements from Mitosu Craft. But the original creator is Shusti. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. I don't have any more of my multi-purpose glue. I've run out, so I'm just using this one. Okay. Let's move this all out of the way. If you glue this first, then it's not going to cause you much grief. I struggled with the other one because the glue was going everywhere, but I got there eventually. Right. Now let's hope I put this correctly. So you want to make sure that your DSP is on the top. All right, because this is the one that will fold in and come around the other way. I hope I haven't made a mistake. Yeah. Let me just get I just want to be absolutely sure. Let's get this out. Yep, correct. Now what we'll do is I'll remove this cutting board. We don't need it anymore. Now the reason I made that 1/4 inch, I made a gusset, so that helps in, I'll just show you what I mean. So this is my template. Oh, sorry. I'll just take it apart. One moment, I'll show you. Okay. So when you close it, it's much neater and there's no stress on this edge here. Can you see that? Much better. So let's go and fold this. It's not always easy to fold a 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch, but making sure that it all lines up to the top and the bottom. Okay. So you've got a little book, more like a mini album if you ask me. All right, so let's get this And let's glue this down, okay? So we're going to apply glue on here, onto this 1/2 inch edge. And glue that down. Okay. It's hard when the camera's in the way. Oh, now this glue takes a little while to dry. And see, it moved. So that's why I like the Tombow, but I don't have any at the moment. Although this glue is easy to work with, it doesn't get sticky. Okay, we'll leave that there. And again, let's apply some glue here. Oops, sorry, I was off camera. To that 1/2 inch tab. And then glue this down. You can use tear and tape if you want to, but I think glue would be better. I'll just hold that down a bit. So there we have it. It's quite a long card. All right. Now, what we want is turn it upside down. And I just want to be absolutely sure. Let me get my sample. Yep. Now you need to decide whether you want to add the DSP. So you're going to add it. Just checking my, yep. So we need to, that's number 4 on there. The reason I marked these were because I want to make them look like they, they all match. So that matches up well. So you want to put the DSP again. Let me just tell you what I did there. So this is the inside, right? Okay. And then you want to flip it. So this is now the back. All right. So now you want to glue your pieces. Where did my other piece go? Just like that, the other pieces disappeared. Oh, it's here. 3, and that's 2. So you want to put one piece here and one piece here. Now, if you wanted to layer it, then you can put a base layer, and that would be this size, 4 and 3, sorry, 2 and 3/8 by 5 and 3/8. And then the top layer, you could make it 2 and 1/4 by 5 and 1/4. That's if you want another layer on top. Okay. So you can do, once you've got this measurement, I'm sure you can work out what you want your layer to be. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this down. Okay. Sorry, there's many parts to this. So I don't want to rush because otherwise I'm going to make mistakes. I just want to make sure. Yep. So put that down, making sure it's equal all around. Okay, let's get this. Okay. I've got another fun fold for you next week. I think that one is a little bit easier. This one, once you got the bits and pieces, it's all good. Right. So we want this here. This is for, let me see where it matches up. No, I think it's this side. I don't think it matters really. Yep. Okay. That's more like it. All right. So let's glue this down here. So if you were going to do this, make sure you mark it as to, so what I did was I put DSP on this panel, and then I knew I had to stick it on there, and then flip it again, and then put DSP or layers on this side. Then that way, when you're going to glue it, you don't make a mistake. This is far too big for the space I have. And I'm getting nervous. I'm thinking, have I got it the right way? Oh, well, the inside will look pretty. I can just cut some DSP. How are we going so far? Oh, zoom out. Sorry. See, that's why I always forget. Oh, Monica, I am so sorry. And I forget to keep checking my, okay. So what did you miss out? Tell me, and I'll just go back. Let me know. I forget to zoom out. I'll go through the details with you again, okay? Apologies. That's why I hate to zoom in, because I always forget. Okay. So now we want to put that there. Believe me, when I was doing the other card, I stuck all of this after I put the mechanism in, and it wasn't easy. All right. So just in case we missed out, so the card base, I placed it, I used glue, applied glue on that 1/2-inch tab and stuck the edges. So that was on this side and this side. And as I said, when you're preparing your card, just make a little note and write DSP on this side, flip it over. You want to put the DSP or the layer close to the slot that I made here. It sounds like slot, as in the animal, but it's slot or a slit, okay? So that your card can slide in and out. So you want to put it to the inside. And then this last panel here, these two, you don't need any DSP. Okay, so you only need four pieces. All right. Okay, so that's that. Now this is where the magic happens. So now we want to push this into that little spot that I got there. Now this can be a little bit fiddly. Okay, and if we've got it exactly cut, once you get it in, just coax it a little bit. And this is where the mountain comes in to play. So it's always good to get these pieces well creased. Okay, again, push this in through this little slit here. Okay, and then pull it out here. Now, this is where these two little pieces, long pieces, come into play. Now, what you need is some sticky tape. I've got this Post-it tape. Okay. You want to hold this down. Yeah. like that. And then you need, so this stops it from sliding way all the way out. Okay. So you want to put it at this edge here. It's like your belly band. Making sure all this lines up well. Put that back in there. And fold that down. No need of scoring or anything like that. Okay. And there's a bit of an overlap. Now you can either choose to cut that. Like this, because you don't want too much bulk. I think I didn't cut it to 11. So okay. So this part is when it gets a little bit fiddly, making sure everything is good. So what I do then is I'm going to, I'm really missing my Tombow. This glue takes a little while. I'm going to use it anyway. Apply a little bit of glue there. Oops. Making sure, and we'll just hold it down. Excess glue there. Let's see. And then get this bit. Okay. So there you go. You just want to be sure that, you're not putting, let this dry up completely before you try it out. Tombow would have dried up by now. Okay, so let's go and do this side. Let's remove my sticky tape from here. Do the same thing. Put that down. And again, what I do is I try and bring, this part is the fiddly. Oh, this thing is, sorry. I've got this little snowman of mine dangling in front of the camera. Okay, again, pull that down. Let's apply some glue to that. Sorry. And then fold this. Okay, cut that. It doesn't matter if it overlaps, but it just gets rid of that bulk that, and it doesn't have to mate up, as in join up there, so it's all good because you're going to cover that with DSP. And glue that down. So you're not going to see any of this. Just have to wait for that to. Okay, so let's remove this. So that's the mountain fold. I won't play with that too much. Now what we need is our 2 panels. So as I said, the original card was just the mountain fold, but I added these floating panels. You need your 2 floating panels, and then you need these 2 pieces, which is 3/4 by 3.5. Now we need to score that. So 1/2 inch. And then another 1/2. Flip that around. 1/2 inch, and then another 1/2. Okay, so you want it mountain, valley, mountain. That doesn't look right. Let me just check the pieces again. Yeah, I think it should be 3. Because, yeah, sorry. Let me just actually 3 1/8. And I think I know why I did that. Sorry. Measurements again. 3 1/8 by 3/4. Okay, so 3/4 inch by 3 1/8. And we'll start that again. I'll get another piece. So that's half. Flip it around. An inch there and another half. The reason I put that 1/8, just to give it that little gap when it's sitting on this mountain here, on the fall line, because I found it was putting a lot of pressure. So I just gave it just that little bit of gap. Okay, I don't know if you can see that. Right, let me just get another piece. I have a scrap here, so 3 1/8 by 3/4. Sorry, not 3/4. 3/8. Oh, hang on a minute. I'm getting my measurements. Yeah, 3/4. Okay, and then score that 1/2 inch and another half. Flip that around. Okay. So we've got these 2 pieces now. Again, mountain, valley, mountain, valley. Okay. Now, what we want to do is we want to glue that about the middle. All right, so let's do that. Let me see, I've got a bit of Tombow glue in this because that's going to take a long time to glue down. So that's about the middle. Just eyeball it. I'll just hold that down. And let's do this other side. Where's my other little piece? Okay. Once you've got this, then decorating is easy. I've got the birdhouse and everything ready. This one doesn't matter where, I mean, you can line it up, make sure it's all straight, but once you put the panels on top, you won't see that. Okay, so now what we would do is we would glue this on here. But before I do that, maybe I'll get all my other little bits and pieces. So I've got my little birdhouse ready. Thank you, Monica. Thank you so much for joining me. So I'm going to stick this down. I think it'll be easy, but then again, it won't be too hard, even if you decide to do that later. But I think we'll just, while that's, oh, should I? No, I'm going to stick it flat because there's a lot of dimension to this. Maybe I should have put a little birdie inside. So what I'm going to do is I'll leave that around there and stick my birdie in later. Okay, so I'll move that there. So I've got all my bits and pieces. I don't know why it's taken me this long to use this bundle. So that's going to be on this side. We're almost done. How are we going for time? Oh, this one's a long one. Okay, and just center that there. Just hold that down. And then the other panel. So I've got all my bits and pieces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set this up like that. Now it's just a matter of you decorating any which way you want it. I want to put this like that, maybe down this way. Some branches here. So I want to put this little bird. You know what, we can do it this way. We can do it here like this. Okay, and then I plan to put my little bird on here. What do you reckon? Put that there. No, I think I'll leave that. Yeah. Stick that there like that. Put little leaves. So you can do this. I mean, you know, don't want to waste too much time because we've really gone over. I can put leaves here, there, and everywhere. And that's my plan for this panel here. So I'll do that off camera. You know what? I can stick this down. So then I've got a full card. If you're happy to stick around, I can finish the decorating of this panel. Or I can do it off camera. So again, center that. Now, I forgot to add the inside. For the inside, you can put your two pieces here. Now, once again, you can probably do this before you put everything together. And that's for the inside. Now, if anyone can give me ideas of how to write a message, I guess you can write on this side, but this is a little bit hard. Of course, if you're left-handed, then it's okay. But I guess your message will be on this side. Or when it's a card like this, you can put an added message and just tuck it in there. And see, it covers it. That little gusset there gives it enough space and there's no pressure on this. Now you can decorate. I'm using some old DSP, which matches up with the birdies. I cut this exact size. This was 5 by 5.5. Now this piece here, you can decorate. And I forgot to give you measurements for that. Because that's the only thing you will see when it's closed. Okay, so this I think measures about 1/2 inch. I forgot. I'll put that on my Facebook page. So what's that? Yeah, that's about 1/2 inch, which means you would make your piece 3/8, and then the other piece as a 1/4. Now again, you could make it bigger, which will go right inside, and it wouldn't matter. So that's one way of doing it. So what do you think? I think I'll finish this off later because I've taken enough time. And you know what it is when you're decorating, it can, it takes a little while for me to do stuff. So imagine that my bird, the other bird is going to sit there with all this greenery. And I think this green looks really nice against the gray. Something like that anyway, with all these little pieces. Leaves here, there, and everywhere. Okay, that's just to give you an idea of what it's going to look like. What do you reckon? Like it? Oh, I'm glad I could play with these birdies. I mean, you know, it's taken me a while, but I'll finish this off camera because, and I've got my little my flowers and everything here, which I'll make it look even more prettier. So we can put that all in. And once I finish that, I'll post a picture. Now next week, I have another fun fold, and I think you're going to like that. So this is my template. Okay. So if you want to see this, join me next Friday. All right. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Thank you, Sue. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Candy. And next week I'll have another fun fold. All right. Thank you. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye for now. And I hope to see you all next Friday. Take care.